Ladies and gentlemen, I need to say this right now. Okay. I I thought of filming this video the other day because I had a bunch of opinions about things going on lately in pop culture. Well, I just came back from watching The Lion King with my family. And I just got more opinions. So now I'm gonna make an actual video of this. If you're wondering, Sarah, are you on keto still? Yep. I made keto brownies. Recipe will come soon. I'm still fiddling with it. Pretty damn good. Pat myself on the back. Anyways, let me start with something I never thought I would say. Now, I've never been interested in daytime television, like As the World Turns, Guiding Light, like all these drama TV, in Spanish channels they call them novelas. They're just like these overly dramatic shows. Like nothing happy ever seems to happen. It's just always negativity and drama. And I never was interested in that stuff. Lately, this is probably going to be the only time I'll ever talk about this. I just have too many opinions about what is going on in popular culture right now. Like, we literally are ignoring amazing, awesome people. I mean, we'll acknowledge them for a good minute, and then real quick, I wouldn't even say they get 15 minutes of fame. What we're glorifying these days is like crazy ass people. People who should not have limelight, who should not have clout or any type of notoriety whatsoever. But we're giving it to them, and we fucking love it. I don't understand it. First, I want to start with this one channel. I tried to avoid this, wasn't interested for a year almost, until just recently, maybe about 2 months ago, I fell down the Amber Lynn Reid rabbit hole. It's like the suction of death. Like, it just took me, and I am just so involved, but I'm just so frustratingly involved, if that's even a word. Why? I don't watch her channels because I refuse to give her the AdSense. I watch reaction channels that watch her channels, you know what I mean? I give them the money, basically. My 1/4 of a cent, whatever my views count in the grand scheme of things. I just don't understand. And here again, this is where we're like rewarding bad behavior, and maybe we're rewarding good behavior on this other side of the spectrum. This woman obviously doesn't care about her life. It's very frustrating to those of us who give a damn about living or even having independent mobility. I mean, for most of us, we don't understand this, right? It's a crazy concept. Someone who literally lives in a house of enablers, makes, as she has boasted, up to $10,000 a month. I don't know about you, but if I made $10,000 a month, I would be living in $1 million mansion, because that's probably how much it costs where I live. I would be living the high life. I would have the best food. I would have the best of the best. Everything would be taken care of. I wouldn't be wasting my money on, she has this thing about obviously only because this is like the only size of clothing that she can wear. Is like she does these massive torrid hauls all the time, constantly blowing money at Walmart. She blows hundreds of dollars, maybe even up to $1,000 a month on food. But as far as the other 9,000 that she talks about, who knows where that goes. So I went down that rabbit hole. You can take a gander at it if you wish. It is super frustrating if you care at all about your fellow human being. It is just super frustrating, and she's just a pathological liar. And I didn't want to get caught up into it, but I did, and my goodness, it's just so sad. Then on the next little tidbit on my list here, Chris Morgan. Does anybody know who Chris Morgan is? If you don't know who Chris Morgan is, he is the little bagel guy that had a fit because he assumed a woman was laughing at him, and he had a fit, a little man's fit in a bagel shop. This was like in Long Island or New Jersey or somewhere on the East Coast. And this man has become a thing, a meme, like just famous, literally overnight. I've watched 2 podcasts on YouTube already, Audacity TV, and I watched the Jim Norton and Sam Roberts show also on YouTube, and they had him and they interviewed him, and literally this guy, he has a cool personality, and a lot of people in comments were saying like he should get his own show because he is kind of like, you know, I'll give credit where credit's due. There's a thing about him. There's like an aura. But this aura gets shattered by his god-awful attitude about women. Even on that Sam Roberts, Jim Norton show, he compared to his flip out about, you know, the flip out in the bagel shop is because he's so traumatized of how people treat him in the past because of his height. He compared that trauma, that triggered trauma, to the triggered trauma a woman experiences that may have been raped and now she fears men. Literally, this dude said that. You're more than welcome to look up the Sam Roberts and Jim Norton show on YouTube. He freaking said it, and my eyes just bulged out of my skull like, what the fuck, son? But I mean honestly, the people that are interviewing him know not to antagonize him because then he'll just walk off and the interview is ruined. But literally these people are like laughing at him and not with him, which is a shame because if he worked on his personality and got some kind of anger management, he actually could be a personality of some sorts, which he still is a personality now, but he has this awful attitude towards women. It's awful, god awful, horrible. I will say for the record, you know, men are able to have their standards and women are able to have their standards. He gave an example where he went on a blind date and a woman saw him and he was like, is this everything you could have hoped for or whatever? And she was just like, yeah, you know, you're honest about your pictures and stuff, but you could have been taller. And then his retaliation was a very aggressive, this was in the interview, who knows if he was actually this aggressive verbally in person, but he was like, you know what you could have? Bigger fucking tits. So like, you know, women, we can't be rude like that. Like, just keep it to yourself. But at the same time, this dude needs to chill the fuck out. It's not his height that is a problem because there's plenty of very famous, cool, short dudes, short women that have these wonderful personalities, and the height is just an afterthought. But his height is at the forefront because his insecurity is about it. His anger is about it. He assumes people are thinking about his height. It's at the forefront. So he just has this like horrible, horrible attitude about it. So, I mean, if you want to check those out, Audacity TV or the Jim Norton Sam Roberts show, and check out his interviews, I mean, it's a damn shame. Like, I would not want to walk a mile in those dudes' shoes unless I could have my personality in his body. Because I couldn't, I couldn't hang with this dude for a day. Like, he's just a sour person, you know what I mean? But we're giving him points. We're making him famous. Third thing on the list, I don't want to draw this video out too long. I just have these things on my mind because I find it to be just amazing. And I'm not saying I'm perfect either, but there's just some things where you're like, why is there no longer black and white? Why is like black now white and white now black? And why are dogs, you know, like the opposite? Like, why are dogs cats now and cats dogs now? Like, it's like we're in opposite land. Like, crazy stuff. So like, let me tell you this. So I took my family, me and my brother and his family went to go see The Lion King today. And I'll just say this one preface to it because it's just funny to me. So I bought all our tickets like on the Cinemark app, you know, like Fandango or whatever, because like literally if you can't get am I right? Like you can't get a movie these days like the old days. You would just walk up and buy the tickets and seat yourself. Now you gotta buy them in advance because if you're trying to see an 8 o'clock showing and you buy them at 6 o'clock, it's pretty much sold out if you're more than 1 or 2 people. Like you're not gonna be able to sit together because now you can pick your own seating. So that, you know, that works against us these days, or works for us, depending how you look at it. So anyways, I get the tickets, I have them in my wallet, I take them to the front guy at the kiosk, you know, before you enter the actual hallways where the theaters are. And I'm like, I have them scan it, and then of course all the tickets print out. And there was like 7 or 8 of us. And I was like, hey man, because my brother was already telling me he was running late. So I have my kids and my nephew with me. And I'm like, hey, our party's not here. Can you just, you know, rip the tickets for who's here, and I'll take that and I'll give it to my family, the other party, when they arrive. And this guy was like right away, he was like, ma'am, I can't hold tickets. And I was like, I'm not asking you to hold tickets. There's just 4 of us and there's 4 more coming. Just, there's 1 child here and there's 3 adults. If you could just rip the proper tickets and give me my tickets back. It literally puzzled, I don't know if this was a kid or a young man, whatever. It puzzled him. This scenario took about 30 seconds longer than it should have. The woman next to him was shaking her head like she didn't know what the fuck to do. And I don't know if it was a shaking her head at me, like if I asked the most difficult thing in the world, or at him for not being like quick enough. I don't know. Anyway, she ended up, you know, ripping the tickets and gave it to us. And I was just like, okay, thanks. I don't understand why that was so hard. Anyways, I don't know. So we go see The Lion King. So, you know, I guess I should have seen this coming. You know, I'm old enough to say that I saw the original Lion King, the cartoon version, when it first came out, like 25 years ago or 27 years ago, whatever. Now, I was watching this because I wanted my kids to see it, and me and my brother were like, oh, this is going to be cool. Literally, I paid $12 for myself. Not going to complain what we paid for the kids. They enjoyed themselves. But I literally paid $12 to watch a computer-generated version of the cartoon movie I treasure, frame by frame, scene by scene. So, I mean, literally all I paid for was 1 new Beyonce song and like 1 new Elton John song. That's literally, I paid like $6 for a new Beyonce song and $6 for an Elton John song that I don't even get to take with me like on my phone that's digitally downloaded. Like I literally, like here Elton have $6, here Beyonce have $6. Let me hear your new songs for Lion King. But it literally was it is a scene by scene, and I loved The Lion King when it first came out when I was little. So I have dialogue, you know, memorized. I have the scenes, you know, like there's a scene where Zazu's flying trying to catch Simba when he's singing I Just Can't Wait to Be King, and he's like running with Nala with the zebras. I mean, it is a shot by shot. I bet you I could even count the same amount of zebras that are running with them in scene as the same amount of zebras that the cartoon version had. Like it literally is scene by scene. I think only just a very few moments are new, you know what I mean? So I had to sit through that, and I was just like, are you serious? At least the new Mulan will be kind of like updated and different, and they, you know, they take out the songs and they did something else, but it's just like, really, dude? Like, you know, if this is the case, I know how this is ending. I don't understand. I mean, that was badass. They got James Earl Jones to do Mufasa again. But if that's the case, what happened to Nathan Lane? Get Nathan Lane back. That's Pumbaa. Is Jonathan Taylor Thomas still alive? Bring that fool back. Let him do the voice for Simba. Or he could be older Simba now. He's a man. I mean, JTT is like, what? Almost 40 now? In his 40s? I don't know, dude. And Beyonce just sounds flat as hell all the time. When she's talking, of course. Not when she's singing, obviously. She has the voice of an angel. But I just, things that just irritate me. Maybe it's my age. I'm not understanding how these new kids do these things. You know what I mean? But that's just my gripe as like a person getting older. I just don't understand these things. I mean, Hollywood cannot make a freaking decent original movie. I think the last original movie I saw that I really liked from Disney or Pixar, obviously is the one that just came out, Toy Story 4, but that doesn't count because the whole Toy Story saga has been part of my life since I was a child. Probably what's the one with the hair? She was like red and they were like Scottish. Her name was Merida. That movie, you know what I'm talking about. And like Wall-E. But that was like a decade ago. Maybe the Scottish one was more recent. But I mean, Disney has been putting out some stinkers lately. I don't know. Come up with something else, for God's sakes. But that's just my rant for today. If you want to just check out the Amberlynn Reed thing and go down that rabbit hole, I bless you. I send you off with the greatest of intentions. Have fun with that one. This Chris Morgan bagel guy interviews. Check this out and then see if you agree with me. Like, you know, this guy could be pretty cool, but he also has a really shitty attitude, which is what drives people away. And then if you saw The Lion King, what do you think about the exact play-by-play that we paid buku bucks for if you took a family out this weekend to go watch it? No different. Again, I paid $6 for a new Beyonce song and $6 for a new Elton John song. That's how I'm looking at it, because I was bored to death in that theater. Thank you so much. I have to go to bed already. I have a casting call and I have work tomorrow. I have to go do a promotion. So leave me your comments and opinions below. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye.